We're back at it again. This time we're doing a kind of an early stream here, at least as far as the week goes. It is Tuesday. We normally stream on Thursday, but this time we've got something really special for you. We got Joni's game going on. You may know Joni from a couple of tournament appearances, some final tables that we've seen recently. She plays sometimes in the 1-2 cash game. But right now what we've got, pretty exciting. We've got a $1,000 minimum buy PLO game. We're doing 10 on the button. I think things are going to get pretty spicy today, if I do say so myself. We've got Josh starting us off in the booth right now, or rather in the box right now. I am joined in the background by tech guru Chris. Super amazing guy. We've got some cool things going on with the computers a little bit later on today. But we also have a good couple of players here. We got Joey in seat 2. We've got Mike in seat 3. We've got Baby Boy Cruz in seat 4. Miss Joni herself in seat 7. Kekoa in seat 8. And Landon in seat 10. Here's their buy-ins. Mike, the big stack right now at 1720. He is in seat number 3, wearing a Texas shirt, sitting right next to Baby Boy Cruz there in seat number 4. And at the bottom of the list, we've got Joey and Joni making the min buy, but in a game like this, a min buy for $1,000, that's still a pretty big buy-in, if you ask me. Now, Charlie and I usually have a thing going, who is going to be the first to 1,000? I think today we ought to do who's the first to 5,000. Who's going to make it up there first? Now, look at this. Joey in the +1 position. Looks down at ace, queen, queen, 10. Suited ace, queen. That's pretty good right there to start things off with. Joni looking at a lot of spades. Kekoa got another ace as well. That is, by my count, 3 of the aces already used up. Landon got a pretty good wheel wrap, dealing with some low cards here. A suited ace, deuce of diamonds. Now let's see what Josh brings us here on the flop. Of course, the dealer is responsible for the randomness of the cards, obviously. No, I'm joking. But we do have a 5-4 of clubs out there. The flop comes 10-6-3, 2 clubs. So Landon actually doing really, really well here. He's got the flush draw and the backdoor flush draw. But with a PLO game, you're never really comfortable with a 5-4 high flush in your hand. So this turn here, this 3 does pair the board. Also something to be concerned with. You know, a set of 6s, for example, a set of 10s, for example, just boat it up. Maybe your flush draw is no good. But Landon does act from the under the gun position here. So he will be first to act, and that is absolutely going to influence his decisions. And Joey gets the check mark here against Kekoa. His pair of queens will be best if they make it to showdown. But, as mentioned, Joey now is playing out of position. Landon was first to act. He folded. Now Joey is out of position. And in Hold'em, position is very important. But in PLO, it's even more important. That little bit of extra information. Wow, look at this. Joey boats up. Now he knows he's pretty likely to have the best hand here. He's got the highest full house, queens full of 3s. Of course, quads. Could have quad 3s here. Very unlikely, though, the way that the action has gone. Now, Kekoa does place a fairly sizable bet, 250. Joey's going to have to find a raise here. Now, this is pot limit. Now, Joey could go all in here, or thereabouts. Joey really making a decision here. And it looks like he does go all in. And Kekoa knows he's beat with just ace-jack high. But hey, a good bluff in position on the river. Tough to find those bluff spots. Unfortunately, that queen was literally the worst card in the deck for him to bluff at, given Joey's exact holding. And we're moving on to hand number 2. Got a couple of people here in the stream. Come on in, say hi in the chat. Where are you watching from? What are you doing on this rainy Tuesday? Yesterday we had about 3 inches of rain. Really, really complicating the driving conditions here. Hope everybody is safe. I hope no loss to property. I noticed a couple of businesses on Business 20 looked like they were flooded out. Looks like that water made it into some of the businesses and some of the lower parts of Business 20. So hopefully everybody's doing okay. Let me know what you're snacking on. It's right about dinner time. And let me know where you're watching from. Charlie and I, we always have a game going, who can find the farthest reach from where we are here in Midland. Still looking for that elusive North Korea viewer. Cody Howard in the chat. Hey, man, good to see you, dude. Says abandoned ship. Yeah, you got to get out from under that. You bluff on the river? Nah, you got to go. You got to go when you get raised with just ace jack high. Now, here we are off to hand number 2. We've got Joni and Landon. King 10-6 on the flop. Joni got a gutter ball. Landon also with a gutter ball and a pair of kings and a pair of twos. 92% to win this hand. Let's see if he can boat up and improve his hand before we get the showdown. No, he bets. Joni says that pot is not big enough for me. $95 in the middle this time. But Landon will chip up, collecting $30 profit out of that pot. Victor showing up here from El Paso, Texas. Hey, man, good to see you. Good to have you. Thanks for watching, buddy. I think El Paso did not quite get as much rain as we got here in Midland. Is that true? It has been rainy, cloudy, and gray for the past couple of days here. Let me know how things are going in old El Paso. And here we go, moving on to hand number 3. Josh whipping those cards around. And that button actually flying around as well. Mike now in the hot seat under the gun. Looking down at a pair of jacks. A suited jack 10 with a 7 as well. One too many diamonds to make that a super premium hand, but still not too bad. He's going to play it. He calls 10. Folds around to Joey. And he's got some cards. He's got the old 5-3, Charlie's favorite hand. Flop comes out ace 7 deuce. Mike, the pair of jacks, the pair of 7s. Bets out for 15. Joey's going to make the call and peel one more card off here. Got a couple of backdoor outs. That queen, though, not too much help at all to Joey. There's another overcard to Mike's pair of jacks. And it goes check, check. And there's the 10. Mike improves to a better 2 pair. 10s and 7s. And he's going to drag that pot. $50 in the middle. Victor saying it rains just enough daily to dirty the cars. Yeah, you ain't lying. That's the trouble, too. You know, living out here, it's kind of dry. It's kind of dusty. That rain just makes that dust stick to the cars like crazy. I haven't gotten a car wash in, I don't know, maybe a month. It just doesn't seem worth it. You stay clean for like an hour, and then the dust cakes on the outside. Pretty wild stuff. And here we go. Moving on to hand number 4. We got Mike on the button this time. Look at that tower of chips. I always think it's interesting to see how players stack their chips. Mike showing off some style here. It's very Art Deco stacking of chips here. And we've got Baby Boy Cruz, Alex Cruz under the gun for this hand. We do have a couple more players joining us shortly. They are on the way. But like I said, it's been rainy past couple of days. Still some wet roads out there. Still some crazy drivers. Make sure to be safe out there. But they are on their way. And we should have a full table here before too long. We just want to get things going, get things rolling with this $1,000 minimum buy-in game. And we've got Baby Boy Cruz under the gun. Calling for 10. Keikoa raising it up to 25. Joey makes the call there. Mike on the button getting a discount. Looks like he throws in a green chip as well. And BBC, Baby Boy Cruz, raising it up even more to 150. We've got some pre-flop action here. Joni's smiling because she got out of the way. Keikoa with the decision here. He's got the 5-3 in his hand, and he does elect to make the call. Joey with a lot of queens there. He's going to get out of there. And Mike folding his ace-jack 10-5 rainbow hand. And BBC, you can see him covering up. Hey, we got Fernando Castillo in the chat. Good to see you, my man. He's on Team Joni today. Love that. It is Joni's game. Show some love. And BBC's going to check out a position. Keikoa's got a pair of fives. But that 10 brings in the straight for Baby Boy Cruz. Now he is under the gun. He checked on the flop. He's going to bet out, maybe with a bluffy size. Only 140 here. And it looks like Keikoa is going to make the call. Just a smooth call. Now, we know he's drawing dead. But he's looking for, well, not exactly that 3. Keikoa does make 2 pair. 5-3. Rarely good on a board like this in a game like PLO. And Baby Boy Cruz bets out 140 once again. Same bet size. Interesting sizing there. Perhaps inducing maybe a raise, but Keikoa just makes the smooth call. And BBC going to drag that pot. $935 in the middle, 505 of which is profit going to BBC. Now he's up to $1,600 in his stack. Basil, Poker Face Superman, watching from Korea. I assume South Korea. Now, unlike the other times he's claimed Korea, he's not actually sitting at the table this time, so it's a little more believable. Also giving a shout out. Good luck to the ladies. We may have another lady joining us here pretty shortly. And we'll be moving on here. Hand number 5. That button whipping around. Interesting to see the drinks of choice. Sometimes we do the 1-2 game on Thursday. We've got maybe a bottle of liquor in the background, a bottle of wine. Today, Coke Zero for Baby Boy Cruz. He's double fisting the Coke Zero and the bottle of water. Mike with the Diet Dr. Pepper. We are staying healthy today. And Joni going to throw out looks like a $10 call right there. Jack 8 tray. Calls around. Could be a family pot. Mike, with the action, throws in $10 of chips. And Baby Boy Cruz looks like he's going to ruin the fun. Throws out a couple of greenies, a couple more reds, raising it up to $70. I don't know how many folds he's going to get, even though this is a 7x bet. Oh, he gets one. Landon getting out of there. And Mike folding as well. As does Joey. Joey releasing his cards. We are 3 ways to the flop. Queen 8-4. BBC with the aces. Great overpair. Joni does make a pair of 8s in addition to her pair of jacks. Of course, she can only play 2 cards from her hand. User 3501. BBC. Woo! Love that. Cheering for old Alex Cruz. And that BBC, it stands for Baby Boy Cruz, everybody. Paul Johnson saying we need to show them how we play in El Paso. Yeah, come by. Come by. Check us out. We've got a cash game running in the background. We've got this $1,000 minimum buy PLO game running right now as well. Ooh, and Joni makes hearts. The flush will be good. BBC holding the ace of hearts, a relevant blocker card here. Joni knows she is not holding the nut flush. BBC betting enough to put her all in. She's got a decision to make. Wow. Okay, she does make the call. Only the ace and the king of hearts would beat her. The third nut flush. And she does make the call all in. Keikoa getting away from it. Tony, hey, what's up, my man? Good to see you, buddy. We got Toledo Tony in the chat. Good to see you, my man. Thanks for checking us out again. Basil, this is not a tournament. This is a cash game that we've got going on here. $1,000 minimum buy, $10 on the button, PLO, high limit, pot limit, Omaha going on. And Joni taking a big pot here, $2,200 heading her way. Let's keep that applause going. Love to hear that. This is Joni's game, Basil. And she is letting us know that it's her game. And she's taking the button as well. Couldn't get sweeter. Looks like Alex Cruz is going to be adding on here. He's got a couple of bills. Basil with a catchphrase in the chat. Damn it, boy. Let me know how I did on that impression, Basil. Take an A or a B or a C or an F. And we are moving on. Hand number 6 here. Joni, so far the big winner. Really picking up a good couple of chips there. Her stack, 2,200. Mike just barely above his starting stack at $1,700, up to $1,710. Keikoa down to $790. Landon at $1,155, and BBC has added on. He's up to $1,670. Certainly a lot of accomplished players here at this table. A lot of fun players here at this table. I had the chance to deal to Keikoa the other day playing a 1-2 game. He was doing really well at that 1-2 game. Joey with the mystery hand and the +2 position right here. And Joni releases her cards on the button. Keikoa, Ace Quisha with the 7-5 suited. Mike with the pair of kings and the 7-3. And we're going off to a flop. $20 from 2 players in the middle. The $10 blind adds up to $50. Flop is low, 6-4 deuce. Keikoa actually almost flopping the world here. He's got 3 to a straight flush. Man, look at that. Another lady maybe joining the table here. I do see some chips headed towards seat 1. The 9 of clubs could be a scare card here. 3rd club on the turn. Another low card. Not exactly helping things for Mike. 10 on the river, though, does give him the check mark. Keikoa not completing his straight. Draw. Basil saying, yeah, Joni's on fire. She three-peated. We have been running qualifiers to a $10,000 basically free roll that'll be occurring on September the 8th. And Joni bagged 3 times. Basil, little humble brag as well, saying that he and Joni were the only three-peats. Congratulations, though, Basil. All joking aside, that is quite the achievement. We had massive, massive fields for those qualifiers. Just the other day, we had 61 entries. So a big field. And we will be running that tournament at 1 p.m. September 8th. And if you're curious, you want to meet the famous, the fan favorite Basil, or you want to meet the lady herself, Miss Joni, in whose game we are playing. Not sure if that's grammatically correct to say, but it is her game today. If you want to meet Miss Joni yourself, come out, check out that free roll tournament. We are only taking qualifiers to it. Hand number 7, lucky number 7 right here. Joey holding a 7. Mike holding a 7. Flop comes ace, 8, deuce, 2 spades. Keikoa holding the king 8 of spades with a nut flush draw. Mike, unfortunately, holding some lower spades, jack 9 of spades. This could get violent here. Joni holding 2 more jacks. Jack, jack, 8, 6. Lots of hearts in her hand. She's going to check her option. Keikoa betting $200, putting Joey in the hot seat. He's got a pair of aces and a pair of 8s. He's got the backdoor club draw. He's going to make the call, peel off another card, and we are heads up to the turn here. Keikoa and Joey. Ooh, the case jack. Very interesting. Joey's going to check his option to the aggressor. Keikoa recently bluffed Joey out, tried unsuccessfully to bluff Joey out of a pot. Keikoa keeping up the aggression, makes a big bet here. And he does have the flush draw. Let's see if Joey can sniff this one out. Keikoa also holding an 8, as is Joey, making it less likely that the other player is holding a set, pocket 8s. And Keikoa shoves all in, putting Joey to the test. Does he want to draw pair of kings, pair of 8s, pair of deuces, couple of boat outs, couple of flush outs? Joey is ahead at this moment. He does make the call, asking if they want to run it twice. Another all-in pot. And there's the queen for the first board. Joey gets the check mark for the first board. And another queen, this time of clubs. Joey gets the second board. A scoop, scoop. Aces and 8s. Oh, a third board. Joey gets a boat. Aces full of 8s. Aces and 8s. Keikoa just could not hit any of those alternate boards. And he throws his cards into the muck. Joey dragging a big pot here, $1,800, and he gets all of it. He was a 70% favorite to win that hand. So I guess the odds check out. Just about 3 out of 4 times he will win on the river. Just about, a little less than that. And out of those 3 times, he did take every single one of them. Never feels good when you're all in and behind. You run it multiple times, and the same card comes out. A queen of diamonds, a queen of clubs. It's almost like twisting the knife. Never a great feeling. Fernando back in the Valley for days off tomorrow. He's going to be playing live at TCH in Edinburgh. I'm going to have to check that out. You're going to be doing a live stream, I hope, so we can all watch you, Fernando, and cheer you on, buddy. And we're moving on to hand number 8 here. Things are flying by. PLO games sometimes are a little bit slower than Hold'em games as far as hands per minute or per hour. But this one really going pretty quick pace. A fast clip, as they say. But still leaving a lot of time for the players to make decisions, things like that. A lot of big decisions. A couple of all-in pots, putting a lot of pressure on so far today. Now this time Mike is under the gun. And he's going to fold, as is Baby Boy Cruz. Landon getting out of the way. Joni making the call. It is between Joey and Joni here. Just one consonant separates them. King 10-9 on the flop. Joni with the gutter ball, pair of fours. Joey with two pair, right off the rip. He's going to bet it. Limped pot pre-flop, bets 15. Joni makes the call. Basil with a well-timed poker so sick. You are not lying here. A third spade comes off on the turn. Joey could be worried with Joni's call. She might be holding spades. Puts out a pot-sized bet, putting her to the test, and she folds. Joey collects the pot with the best hand. And Basil celebrating. We got 9 views on Facebook, but we are streaming multiple platforms. Got a couple of viewers on YouTube, a couple of viewers on Twitch as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate it. This is the reason that we do what we do, so that you at home can check out some poker without even leaving the house. It is a rainy day. Not as rainy as it was yesterday by any stretch, but certainly cloudy. Roads are still wet. If you don't feel like going out, you still want to scratch that poker itch, well, you found us. You're in the right spot. And we've got a straddle already. Baby Boy Cruz throwing out $20 without even seeing his cards. He will get last action. Because we're doing a button blind game, we do not allow button straddles. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a triple straddle by the end of the night. Joey making the call for 50. BBC next to act after the couple of folds that we've seen pre-flop. Raises it up to 200. Keikoa, 9-6-6-5, single suited. He's going to gamble a little bit. I like to see it. He's in the hijack. Joey in the cutoff. Ace, queen, queen, 8. Complete rainbow. He's going to throw in 2 black chips as well. That is a call. We're going off to the flop. Baby Boy Cruz in first position here post-flop. Wow, a 6 and a 9 for Keikoa. Flops a set. He's got a pair of 9s in tow, but of course you can only use 2 cards. You have to use 2 cards from your hand. Picking up the possibility for 9s full in addition to 6s full. Keikoa betting out 300, keeping up the aggression. Joey really thinking about it. Doesn't have much on this board. Could be wondering, is Keikoa trying to make a move? Joey and Keikoa have been at each other's throats in the short 9 hands that we've seen so far. Keikoa, with a couple of unsuccessful bluffs, now has the goods against Joey. 95% to win. A lot of equity here. Let's see if he continues firing. Leading Joey down the bluffy trail that Keikoa has done so far. Getting a couple of black chips together. 1,200 in the middle. Looks like he bets about $1,000. $800. A good 2/3 pot size bet. Keikoa clearly betting the size that he would for a bluff, and it's put Joey in the blender. He's got an overpair here with the queens. Not much else going on aside from that, though. He does have an ace for an overcard to the board in addition to his overpair. Turn does bring a potential flush draw with the diamonds. Joey really replaying this pot in his head. Keikoa raises to 50 pre-flop. And he gets out of there. Joey makes the correct fold. Not going to pay Keikoa off this time. But you saw the thinking. Yeah, it looks like they're discussing the hand. BBC raised it up to 200. Got two callers, Keikoa and Joey. And now, Baby Boy Cruz on the button. That button is flying around. We've got a couple more players still on the way. I thought Miss Kelly would be joining us. I saw her. Looked like she was delivering chips to a new seat, but it looked like maybe she was delivering chips to a player already seated. And Josh, very accurate pitch right there. Love to see that. And we're gonna have to keep the aggression high here on this hand. Landon, King 6-6-5, out of the way right there. Joni folding the Jack 8-5-4. Not a very good hand. She makes the what I would say the correct fold there. Keikoa raising it up to $30. That'll get Joey and Mike to fold. Baby Boy Cruz now going up against Keikoa. Ace King 9-8 in Baby Boy Cruz's hand. King 8-4 on the board. Baby Boy Cruz flops two pair. But Keikoa keeps the betting lead, betting out another $30, building the pot. A two of spades, an absolute blank on the turn. Keikoa does have the nut flush draw. Baby Boy Cruz already with two pair, working on a boat. Keikoa betting out 100 now that the pot is a little bit bigger. We are pot limit. That's the PLO. Pot limit Omaha. Baby Boy Cruz raising it up with his two pair. Perhaps he smells a flush draw in Keikoa's hand, trying to get him off that flush draw and just win the pot right here. He is he is in position. Keikoa thinking about whether or not it's worth it to draw to the flush. The cards have not been going his way so far today, unfortunately. Sometimes that happens. And he does release his cards into the muck. Baby Boy Cruz dragging that pot, $160 in profit right there. A good 16 blinds. And we are moving on to hand number 10, lucky number 10. Heard a joke the other day. There are 10 kinds of people in the world today. Those who understand binary and those who do not. Huh? Nah, that's a pretty bad joke. And Joni's game. Joni under the gun. She's looking down at a pair of trays. She's got 8-7 to go along with that. Keikoa, a lot of Broadway cards right there. A suited ace-5 as well to go along with that. Pretty decent hand, if you ask me. Keikoa 55% pre-flop. Joey, though, with the mystery hand. $40 to call. He lets it go. Mike will come along for the ride, though. Mike holding King, Queen, Jack with a deuce. A lot of Broadway cards in his hand as well. He is double suited. Baby Boy Cruz, Jack 10-8-8. Pretty good wrap. Also double suited. He's going to 3-bet it in position. A lot of pressure in this game. A lot of 3-bets pre-flop. A couple of all-ins so far. And there we go. Keikoa making the call. 180 is the full bet. Mike, he's got a look in his eye like he suspects something suspicious is going on. Josh dragging the pot here. $570 pre-flop. Big game today. Ace 10-5, two spades. Keikoa hits two pair. Only holding one spade in his hand, though. Not good enough for a flush draw. Makes a big bet. Almost full pot. $500 going into the middle. Mike with 2 pair as well. Kings and jacks. Still losing to Keikoa's aces up. BBC does have 2 hearts in his hand, but his hand is the wrong color for that flop. Brows furrowed. Placing the puzzle pieces together. You can see the wheels turning in real time. These are very thinking players here. It looks like Mike making a move. Doesn't like his seat. The feng shui of the room is all wrong from that angle. It looks like he's moving over near to Keikoa. In the meantime, Baby Boy Cruz folds. Keikoa dragging another pot. It looks like Keikoa is getting closer to even. Still down about $1,000 though. Joni up about $1,000. Joey up $825. Landon barely making any moves so far, but we are only on hand number 11. Mike down $220. Doesn't look like it though with the amount of chips that he's got and the way he's got them arranged. Lord of the Rings, the 4 towers here. BBC with the $645 loss so far, but only a matter of time before we see these numbers changing up on us. Keikoa down $1,000 right now, but he does throw out a $20 straddle, preemptively building the pot before he even gets cards. And that may help him get a bigger pot going, depending on the cards he gets on this hand. I like the musical chairs game that we've got going on here. That is fun. Mike now in seat number 9. Rubbing the cards on the table, maybe for a little good luck. Maybe so that the cards read a little bit better. Maybe a little bit of both. Joni with the ace-jack-7 tray makes the call up against Landon's 10-7-5-4 and Keikoa's 9-8 tray deuce. Flop comes queen 10-6. Keikoa very aggressive so far today. Continues. The aggression leads out for $50. It's going to get a fold. 1 fold. But Joni makes the call. She's still coming along. A deuce on the turn. Keikoa does make a pair. Still looking for a jack for the straight. Joni holding one of those jacks. Joni just ace high so far. Looking for a king to make Broadway. River card. Unknown. Josh moving around. There it is. 7 of hearts. Keikoa gets there. Making the straight. And he's going to lead out for 250, keeping the aggression on. When you bet as frequently as Keikoa has, it's really tough to put, for other players, to put you on a hand. If he bets with nothing, he bets with something. And what is he betting with right now? Joni really putting the pieces together here. Keikoa betting every street post flop. And she's going to pay him off. Keikoa turns his cards over. Joni's cards go in the muck. And Keikoa scooping another pot. Tony, BBC, might as well be British Broadcasting Company. No, it is Baby Boy Cruz. That is my man Alex Cruz in seat number 4. Started playing poker very young, I guess. Maybe a variation on the poker kid. Baby Boy Cruz. Certainly a good nickname. to have a lot of fun with. Here's a look at the winnings now. That pot has changed hands. Joey, now the big leader, 825 up. Miss Joni, 740 in the profit. We've got a new player coming in. Seat number 1, Big Taco, Mr. Frankie. Jumping in right there. It looks like he's going to be buying in for $3,000. With this uncapped game, I'm starting to realize maybe a flaw in some of my logic earlier today. Looking for who would be the first player to reach $5,000. What happens if they just buy in for $5,000 in an uncapped game? That is totally feasible. Keikoa, actually, as a matter of fact, up to $5,000. I'm going to say right now he is the winner. And we've also got another new player joining, Miss Kelly herself. A couple of ladies at the table. Joining just in time for Mike to call under the gun with his king, queen, queen tray. Big Taco throwing his first hand into the muck. Kelly looking at a lot of hearts. Baby Boy Cruz with the aces once again. He's going to raise it up to 50. Joni, a good wrap, single suited, 8-6 right there. She's going to fold, though, not looking to play those medium cards. Keikoa, on the other hand, never met 4 cards he doesn't like to bet. He's going to make the call. And we're going 5 ways to the flop, 250 in the middle. 9, 6, 9. Kelly flops trips. It does check to her. She's going to bet out $200. Baby Boy Cruz throws his cards into the muck along with Landon. Keikoa not interested in pursuing that one. And neither is Mike. Kelly sits down, gets a couple of cards, and gets a pot right away. There you go. That's one way to do it. That's one way to do it. Now we got Frankie here now under the gun. I was saying we were healthy earlier. Frankie, one of those players that likes to sip on a little beverage, a little cocktail while he plays. It looks like he's got his trademark cup of ice ready to go for said cocktail. And we're moving on. Hand number 13. Lucky number 13. I think something spooky is going to happen. Starting to feel a little bit like fall outside. Now that it rained yesterday, it's a lot cooler today. Speaking of fall, speaking of Halloween, hand number 13. Look out. Oh, hand number 14. Took a second for my graphics to update. Big Taco looking at a pair of 4s along with a queen 9. Landon coming along. Joni getting out of the way. This time Mike on the button here. 9-7 deuce deuce. 7 deuce might be the worst hand in Hold'em, but 7 deuce deuce maybe a little bit better in PLO. He does flop a pair of 9s. He's got the 7 as well. Looking for a 10 to make a straight. And not looking too hard. He does fold to Keikoa's bet. And there's a 7 on the turn. Keikoa holding a lot of aces. Just about ruling out the possibility that Big Taco or any of the other players have an ace. Almost a certainty there. Keikoa still ahead on the turn. Gets the check mark by the river. The computer prefers to use the ace of diamonds, ace of clubs in this situation, as opposed to the ace of spades. Big Taco betting out $225 out of position here. Keikoa has maintained the betting lead so far, but on the river, the reins were ripped out of Keikoa's hand. Keikoa folds the best hand with the board pairing on the river. Big Taco, well-timed bluff right there. Will drag that $500 pot. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. Got a big game going right now. Joni's game getting spicy over here. We've already seen a couple of all-ins. Seen a lot of pressure applied to these players. And here we go. Aiden jumping into the box, one of my favorite dealers. I believe this is his first time in the live stream box. Looking as confident as ever. I believe the players are talking about maybe doing a bomb pot here. We don't normally run bomb pots, but you can see the green chips in front of these other players. Now, if you're not familiar, a bomb pot, we usually run PLO, 4 cards for each player, double boards, 2 flops, 2 turns, 2 rivers. Everybody puts in an ante. The ante goes into the pot. Everybody gets 4 cards. Everybody goes to 2 flops. But this time I believe we're just going to do a single flop, single turn, a single river, single board bomb pot here. Ooh, and it looks like Mr. Robert Worsham joining the chat as well, or rather joining the party at the table here, joining the game. A very funny player. Great energy, great table presence. And here we go. Yeah, it looks like players did agree on a bomb pot. Frankie pointing out the bomb pot button just in case Aiden gets confused. Aiden, one of our newest dealers. This is the first time that he is in the live stream box. And it looks like he's doing pretty good so far. Let's give it up for Aiden. Let's give it up for Aiden, everybody. Basil, Big Taco and Red Taco in the house. He's referring to Frankie and Kelly. We're going to let Jeffrey Dummer deal. Yeah, I like Jeffrey. A.K.A. Aiden. I call him A+ Aiden. And we're going off to that flop. This bomb pot that we've got here in this spicy PLO game comes out Jack, Jack, 10. Now, everybody has a hand already. And they do have the option of checking until a bet is placed, obviously. Just regular old poker at this point, except it is a family pot. Anybody could be holding anything. Keikoa holding a pair of 10s. But BBC flops the full house. Jack's full. Now let's see how he goes about getting value. He's just going to bet $25. And it looks like he gets 2 callers. Just building the pot slowly with the nuts. There's a king on the turn. King of hearts, no less. Mike holding the ace-7 of hearts, drawing to the nut flush. Ooh, and he gets there. The worst turn, the worst river card in the deck. BBC, Jack's full and 10's full. Kind of. Obviously, a joke. No, that was supposed to be that one. And looks like Baby Boy Cruz going to bet. And he gets some value from Mike holding the nut flush. Basil's favorite hand, for anybody who doesn't know already, is Jack 10. And it sure got a big pot for old Alex Cruz today. John Davis giving a shout out to our resident chat pro Basil as well. And we have Aiden's first live bomb pot under the belt. Ready to go. Moving on to his first PLO hand in the live booth, live box. And we've got hand number 16 on the way. Aiden, not the fastest pitch in the world, but look at that accuracy, huh? Hitting the boxes every single time. Pretty good right there. And John Davis says he misses playing. Hey, we've got seats open, my man. Come out, check us out. We've got a cash game running right now. 5 on the button. If we get enough interest for a 1-2, which does tend to happen on Tuesday, we could get that rolling as well. Joey under the gun looking at all hearts all the time. He makes the call, though. Ace, queen, 6-5. Not likely to get a flush. Kelly holding a 9 of hearts. BBC with a 7 tray of hearts. Joni with the 4 of hearts. But stranger things have happened. And BBC going to raise it up. 10-7, 6 tray. Pretty decent wrap. Double suited. Kelly with a pair of 7s. In the +1 position. Looks like she does make the call as well. No, that empty chair means she probably folded. And we get a flop. Ace, king, jack, 2 diamonds for baby boy Cruz. Joey sees one of the rare hearts that he doesn't hold in his hand on the board right there. The 10 of spades on the turn. Joey does make Broadway, as does Mike. Neither player drawing to a flush, obviously, so this more than likely will be a chopped pot by the end of it. But Mike does have the possibility for a full house if another ace or king comes out. Mike betting 320, staying aggressive here. Joey makes the call. 8 of spades on the river. This is a chopped pot right here. That goes check, check right there on the river. John, sorry to hear you're sick today, man. That weather is pretty wild. Not great for the immune system. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Hope you get well soon. Thanks for checking out our stream in the meantime. Aiden stacking up that pot, cutting it in half like a pro. And dishing it out. Those players will chop up that pot, about a $55 profit for each of the players. And we'll be moving on here. Hand number 17, I believe. A prime number. And Miss Kelly's been working on that chip trick. Looks like she's got pretty good at it. The old hold 3 in your hand, twirl the middle one around type of deal. Pretty nice. John, yeah, we got a little coughing going on here. That does happen. There is something definitely going around. Hopefully you recover very quickly. Hopefully nobody else here gets it. Hopefully it just goes away. Wouldn't that be nice? It looks like we're doing a horse race here. We've got a really cool bingo board going on at our club. Every time Dallas scores, we do something special with that bingo board. You may have to come in to find out exactly what that is. We also run a horse race where you can get a square on that bingo board. If you get the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter are all $250 if you're present. All you have to do is win a couple of horse races. We do them on the hour, every hour. We're running on a 15-minute delay. Sometimes we forget about that horse race. Don't tell anyone. So that's why it's about 7:30 right now, and we are running it right now. We are watching 15 minutes in the past to protect the integrity of the game. But yeah, John, hopefully you get better, man. That coughing sucks. Hard to sleep, hard to nap and stuff when you wake up coughing. Been there, done that, man. Hope you get better soon. All right, we got Aiden again pitching those cards. Not the fastest pitch, but look at that accuracy. You got to give it up. You got to give it up for the accuracy. Hand number 17 coming at you right now from the spiciest PLO game in Texas right now, probably. And Joni, the +3, folds to her. Looks down at ace-jack, 7-4. A suited jack-4, suited Robbie Lou. Keikoa makes the fold. Mike getting out of there. And Robert, newcomer to the table, he's going to throw in $20 and see where that takes him. Got a king 10, 5 tray, playing Charlie's favorite hand. Let's see if that flop cooperates. Jack 10, 6 on the board. Robert making a pair of 10s. Joey with a mystery hand. Turn card, a 9 of clubs. Big Taco makes a pair of 9s. Robert's still ahead with his pair of 10s. King kicker coming into play right now. A queen would give him a straight. And not feeling that great about second pair in PLO, but no doubt he is drawing for that straight. Robert, the best hand that we can see right now. $110 in the pot. That is the max that either of these players can bet. Robert throwing out $30. Looks like he gets a quick call. Turning over his hand. Pair of 10s. With the king kicker. He points at the king. And I guess we'll never know what Joey had. Robert picking it up. And there we go. Hand number 17 out of the way. On to hand number 18. This game starting to pick up some steam. And look at this. Baby Boy Cruz with a black cup of coffee here. Love to see that. A lot of respect for people who drink black coffee. And I don't know why. I drink it black myself. Maybe it's just an element of narcissism. Who knows? And speaking of black coffee, Baby Boy Cruz throwing out a $20 straddle. Landon will be first to act. $20 to call. Good way to grow the pot. For every caller, you're getting an additional 10 out of them. A little more maneuverability post-flop when you're playing a pot limit game. If anybody in the chat knows the reason why PLO is more popular than NLO, let me know. I've got a couple of theories, but I've never actually looked up why PLO is the most common variation of Omaha. My theory has to do with getting 4 cards and the action just spiraling out of control pre-flop. A good way to let players see the flop is to limit the action to pot limit. Still a fair amount of maneuverability, though, pre-flop, but obviously not quite as much as being able to shove all in before you see that flop. Joey, in the cutoff, pair of 7s, pair of 3s. He's going to call Keikoa's raise. Keikoa double suited, king, queen, 5, 6. Pretty good hand right there. Got some high cards, got some low cards. Joey, 2 ways to hit a set. Robert, though, holding one of the 7s. BBC holding one of the 3s that he would need. Flop comes 9-9 deuce. Almost completely irrelevant for these players. Rainbow board, no less. A couple of backdoor flush draws for some of these players. Kelly and Robert, as well as Baby Boy Cruz. Goes check around. None of these players really hitting that flop, but that queen on the turn does at least bring Keikoa a pair of queens along with Kelly. Both players holding the same king kicker. Looks like Joey's going to lead out $145 there. That'll get Kelly and BBC to fold. Keikoa getting out of there as well as Robert. And Joey, aggression, takes the pot. First to bet is the winner. And we are moving on here. Hand number 19 coming at you. Hand number 19, this is going to be one of the hands. I'm predicting a $500 pre-flop pot on this one. I'm predicting Robert's going to get a pretty good hand. I think Keikoa is going to raise it up. Robert's going to call. Alex is going to repot it or re-raise it. And we'll hit that magic $500 number. Let's see how close I am to being right. I am no psychic in any way. So this is just an absolute guess. Throw your guesses out in the chat. Or if you want to take the over-under on my $500 prediction, throw that in the chat as well. Let's have a little fun with this one. And Landon getting out of the way. Joni folding her hand. Keikoa, uh-oh. No raise. We're in trouble for my prediction here. Mike, though, looking down at pocket aces. A suited ace of hearts as well. He's going to call the 20. And we are 4 ways to the flop, 4 players. Jack 9, 8 on that flop. Joey still playing the mystery hand here. Mike's option with the aces. Does have a pair of 8s. The king on the turn might freak Mike out a little bit. Big Taco, a lot of Broadway cards and a pair of kings. It looks like Joey's going to bet out. And that'll do it. Joey's going to take it. And we're moving on. That was a quick hand. Not quite the $500 in the pot pre-flop that I predicted. But, hey, what are you going to do? That happens sometimes. What are you going to do? Hope everybody's day is going well. I got a new phone today. Pretty exciting stuff. Always cool to get little bits of technology. Got a Samsung this time. I know. Everybody, all the iPhone users in the chat. I'm sure you're going to tell me about my green bubbles in my text messages. as opposed to the blue bubbles in the iPhone. I've been a long time Android user. I just like it better. I like the themes. In about 2 years, though, Apple will have the themes on their iPhones, I'm sure. And here we go. Into hand number 20. Lucky number 20. Joni under the gun. Looking down at a queen 10, 7-4. Not the worst hand in the world, but out of position. Not exactly one you want to play. And she does fold along with Keikoa. Mike seeing a good ace Quisha right there. He's going to make the call. Kelly this time with the Rockets. Ace, 10-6. She's going to raise it up to $30. Baby Boy Cruz re-raising it. A little isolation play. I like it. He's got a good medium to low card wrap. Just raising it up to 90. Let's see if Mike wants to come along. No, he's getting out of the way. Kelly. She's coming along for the ride. BBC isolated successfully, and he's in position. Flop comes King Jack 5. BBC a pair of 5s. Kelly still ahead, though, with her pair of aces. Check, check on the flop to the turn. Brings another ace. Kelly, a set of aces. Top set here. She's going to lead. A little delayed C-bet. Alex knows to get away from that. And he's going to fold the worst hand. Kelly drags the pot. Alex minimizing any losses there. That's what makes him a dangerous player. It almost seems like he knows exactly where he's at all times. Yeah, certainly that last hand, no different. Those medium cards, great way to crack aces. Straight possibilities, flush possibilities, things like that. But Kelly is an accomplished player of her own as well, though. She knows not to get too attached to those aces, especially in PLO. Not quite the same strength as they have in Hold'em, though it is still a very strong holding. Looks like we got a couple of new viewers in the chat. Hey, love to see it. Let me know where you're watching from, if you're snacking on anything. Hopefully the rain didn't mess you up too much these past couple of days. We got Robert Worsham there. In seat number 9. One of the players that really makes me wish we had microphones at the table. He's always got some funny stories to tell, or some cool stories. He's talking about his military experience last time I was at the table. Always quick with a good joke as well. Joseph Eden watching from Durham, North Carolina. Love North Carolina. Fantastic part of the country. Got some family in South Carolina, some family in North Carolina. Love when I get the chance to visit out there. Although I always blank on what part of North Carolina my family lives in. It's my aunt and my uncle. Joey with a big decision here. Keikoa still keeping up the aggression. Double suited Jack 10, 9, 6. Going to re-pop on top of Joni's bet. Joey already had some money in the middle, so he's going to make the call. We're going 3 ways to the flop. 600 in the middle this time. Jack 5-4 on the board. Keikoa with a flush draw. Joni with a better flush draw. And Joey still playing the mystery hand. It is Keikoa's option. Would be surprised to see him check. Yeah, he bet 600. Joey, with an unknown piece of this board, could have a pair of jacks. Quite likely that he folds. Yep, and he does fold. Joni now, with the nut flush draw, a jack on the board, and a couple of Broadway cards in her hand. Keikoa, though, with a pair of jacks, is ahead right now But you'll see Joni actually has higher equity because she's got better draws. And that is one of the big differences between PLO and Hold'em. Your draws are a lot more valuable in this game. Ooh, the 3 of diamonds. Will give Joni the check mark. She's got the higher flush. Keikoa out of position. Keeps up the aggression. Joni sliding a big stack of chips in the middle, saying all in for the remaining $990 that she's got in front of her. Keikoa may not realize he's stepped in it right now. He's got the 6 of diamonds, so he knows he's not up against a straight flush. Could be up against a steel wheel. And it looks like Keikoa does make the call. He is drawing dead right now. Ooh, another diamond on the river. Doesn't change things, but really just kind of twists the knife. Keikoa playing well, but the cards are not cooperating. And Joni drags another pot right here. She is on quite the heater. I guess that's what happens when they name the game after you. You do pretty well. And Joni buying in for a little over $1,000. She's up $26.80 right now. Joey in second place as far as big wins go, up $9.50. Keikoa adding on once again, down $26.80, but still has a decent stack at $3,300. Still playing very deep stacked. And BBC down a little bit, down $5.25. Mike down $4.75. Landon down $1.80. Robert, newcomer to the table, down $30. Just a couple of blinds right there. And Big Taco up 85, along with Kelly up 175. Right there in the middle. A very good showing here. We are full now. We've got 9 players at the table. PLO. It's tough to get 10. Tough to get 10-handed. Although I think there are enough cards on the deck. By my quick math. For a 10-handed game. And we're back at the action here. Well, A+ Aiden still in the box, making his live stream debut. Pitching out 4 cards. And let's see what 4 cards these players are holding here. We've got Mike under the gun this time. King, Jack, 6, deuce. Robert hitting the jackpot, 7, 7, 7. Not exactly a great PLO hand. Kelly with the Rockets once again. She's holding the ace-ace. She is going to raise it up. Looks like a pot-sized bet for her. Giggling about it. Love to see that smile. Landon throws out a call. He's going to hang on to those cards. Queen, queen, 8-5. Joni gets out of the way. Keikoa is going to see a flop, as is Joey. Lots of 10s out there today. 3 of them already accounted for. These live hands. Flop comes 9-5 Trey, Charlie's favorite hand right there on the flop. Kelly makes a pair of 9s on the board, but still holding that pair of aces a little better. Keikoa, 10-6 Trey deuce. Interesting. He's got way more equity than Kelly. And a lot more outs. That's what that is. Again, PLO, kind of a game of draws. Joey, queen, jack, 10, deuce. And these 3 players do all call. Kelly's aggressive $60 bet. $340 in the middle now. An 8 of clubs on the turn gives Keikoa Yet another draw, a flush draw this time. And he's going to lead out this time. Kelly checks it to Keikoa. Keikoa taking the reins once again. Looks like 225 in the middle. A quick pot calculation, 340 is the bet size. Joey wants to make the call. He's already got the chips stacked up. He is up and down for that straight. And he does make the call. Kelly maybe realizing she's in trouble here. He's got the pair of aces. And she lets him go. Now Keikoa bumps up to 80% equity here on this hand, and it's Joey versus Keikoa. Once again, the deuce comes off on the river. Joey, 2 pairs. That's going to be good enough for the check mark, but will it be good enough to get to showdown? Joey covering up almost entirely. Was that imposter Basil right there? Keikoa betting out 375, 350. 375, and Joey makes the fold. Keikoa wins with the best hand, though bottom 2 pair. He may have felt like he was bluffing there. Bluffing with the best hand. And we have a dealer change going on. Looks like Robert stepping into the box here. One of my favorite dealers. Robert Hood, as I've called him before. That famous archer Robin Hood. Can't miss with his arrows. Feels like Robert can't miss when he's pitching cards. Love to see it. And we are moving on. Yeah. That next hand is a bomb pot. We do have the bomb pot button this time on Mr. Robert. The player, not the dealer. And once again, all players get 4 cards. Oh, no. It looks like it was a misdeal. Nobody look. Nobody look. Robert stepping into the box. Looks like he put the first card in the wrong player's hand. It was too late by that point. Let's take a look at those stacks, the winning numbers here. Who's up? Who's down? Let's see what we got. Joni, the runaway winner here, $2,680. Next up, Joey, $510. Just a cool $2,100 difference between the 2 players in terms of just their winnings. Joni, one of the bigger stacks at the table, $3,780 in her stack. But Keikoa, $4,380 in his stack. Even though he's down $2,100, he's just been adding on, keeping the table covered, ready for his moment to strike. And that moment could be anytime soon. We've seen him stay aggressive, not really taking the foot off the gas. We got a 6-5 deuce on the board here. Everybody is in. And it looks like we've got a tray on the turn. Big Taco with the straight. 46% to win. Looks like Joey's got the same straight. And most of these other players drawing dead or drawing slim. Kelly actually does have a possibility with her 2 pair of hitting a boat, and she is out. And Mr. Taco betting 225. He's going to get everyone to fold except Joey, and it is going to be a chopped pot right there. And in PLO, all cards must come up, all 4 of them. Just turning over the 2 winning cards that you choose to use, not enough to win the pot. You got to turn over all 4 cards. It does help the dealer, though, if you choose 2 of them, reveal those first. Every once in a while, though, players will choose a couple of cards, not exactly seeing what they have. 4 cards, sometimes tricky to keep up with, especially if you're playing 100 hands in a day. Sometimes the cards run together. Today, that was hand number 23 in just about an hour and some change. So thanks for watching with us. We're having a good time today. We've got a couple of cool things coming up. We got that bingo board. Come check us out here at KoJack's. Tomorrow, if you like PLO, if you like bomb pots, tomorrow we've got the bomb pot tournament. One of our dealers, Lauren, always requests off that day and almost always wins that tournament. Or at least makes a good deep run. And it is September now. We've got some new things going on here. And they are big things. We've also got a return of our series. How cool is that? You love to see it. Every time I read the list of the games that are happening on that series, I get a little more excited for the next one than I got for the last one. We've got a really cool tournament coming up, a free roll tournament, this one in October. But at Dealer Change, we're going to be running bomb pots in the tournament. That should be pretty exciting. Almost as exciting as Robert's hand here. King, King, 9-9. Unfortunately, that flop does not really cooperate with him. Big Taco with a pair of aces. A 6 of hearts on the turn. Neither Joey nor Landon holding enough hearts for that flush draw. Landon way ahead, though. He's got trip 6s with a 9 kicker. Joey, wondering exactly what he's up against. Started off fairly strong. He's going to check it down here. I don't see him betting or even calling. Landon doesn't expect Joey to bet or call either, so he checks it down as well. Turns over his hand and scoops that pot. $600 heading his way. Now, just a wild start to the hand here. This is kind of a little more what I expected. A lot of calls pre-flop, a lot of 3-bets here. This time coming from Keikoa, betting $100, getting a couple of folds. Kelly making the call, as is Joni, though. Keikoa versus the ladies. Let's see how this shakes out. 9-7-5, 2 diamonds. Kelly with the nut flush draw. Keikoa once again drawing for a lower flush. He does have a possibility, though, of getting to the straight flush. We'll need runner for that. Or actually, just an 8. 8 of diamonds will do it. Keikoa makes the bet. Kelly makes the call. 2 ways to the turn. 720 in the middle. Kelly's still ahead. She's got her pair of 5s working for her. Keikoa also with a pair of 5s, but Kelly's kicker obviously better than the ace is better than the king. Boom. There's the bet. 500. Kelly still with the best hand, though pair of 5s, not exactly a strong holding. She is still drawing to the flush and a higher flush than Keikoa. She's playing out of position. All of these factors weighing on the decision here. What is this? A good $500 call. She's calling with the best hand. She is ahead. 68% chance to stay there on the river. And there's the king. Keikoa, rivers 2 pair, taking it right out from under Kelly. She's going to check. Keikoa shoves all in, keeping the pressure alive. 2 pair on this board. Not a super strong holding, but Keikoa going to make the bet. Kelly going to make the fold. Keikoa getting the pot. Technically $5,000 in the middle after Keikoa's all in. But at the end of the day, Keikoa scooping about 920 in profit. A good way to catch back up. Play pots like that. And here we go. Keikoa still coming back. Now only down $1,255. Joni up $2,555. Joey up $377. Landon $125. Big Taco in the green at $123. Robert down a small $115. Mike down a little bit as well, $510. BBC down $550. And Kelly down a little bit as well. We are still going to be doing Charlie's 1-2 game on Thursday at 6 p.m. We'll have that list up shortly for that game. If you want to play on a live stream featured table, you got a chance coming up this Thursday. And we will not be running that again on the 12th or the 19th, but Charlie's game will return on the 26th of this month. We've got a couple of mystery tournaments coming up, breaking up the action for Charlie's game. And that's why we won't be running it in the middle of the month for those 2 weeks. Look at this pot already, $420 in the middle. Got a good raise from Joey with the mystery hand. Couple of callers for the small bet, 3 callers for the big bet. Mike, BBC, and Joey going toe-to-toe here. Toe-to-toe-to-toe for this one. King 7-5 right there on the flop. BBC flopping a pair of 7s. Mike with a couple of backdoor flush draws. He is double suited, but Joey counting out chips here. He's under the gun. First to act, mystery hand. And he puts out a bet. It looks like 410 or so. 335. I was way off. But that's going to be good enough to get a couple of folds. And good enough to get that pot. Joey up $400 just in that last hand. He's still in the black. Still likely in second place. Let's see what these winning totals tell us. Joey hitting the jackpot. Look at that. 777 in terms of just profit alone. Joni's also got trips. 2555. I love to see that. And KoJack's still clawing back, but doing a good job at clawing back. We've got a 3-club mystery tournament coming up. That'll be pretty exciting. We're also going to be doing another live stream on the 27th. Check that out. It's going to be women's cash game stream, the ladies' night. Speaking of ladies, Kelly with the Queens. She's just going to make the call here under the gun. A lot of under the gun calling action here. It looks like we're going a family pot. This might as well be a bomb pot here. 10-5-4. Landon flopping a set of fives right there. He checks it. A nice smooth check. KoJack in the pot. Has been known to bet a time or two, and this time no different. Doing the betting for Landon. Landon has the highest, second highest equity. KoJack already eclipsing him with the flush draw, the pair of fours. And just like that, we have thinned the field. Thinned the field to 5 players. An ace on the turn. Ace of clubs gives Mike the nut flush draw, as well as a pair of aces. He's got the wheel. Working on the steel wheel. Was the 4 of clubs folded? These are the questions we need answers to right now. Landon folds his set. Set no good. And that's what happens when you see a big raise here. Mike raising KoJack's $200 bet. KoJack really thinking long and hard. He's got 2 pair. He's got the flush draw. He's also got a wheel draw. A couple of boat draws. 30% equity as well. Trying to figure out what he's up against here. Talking to Mike. You can see Mike talking to him as well. KoJack pulling out a couple of black chips. Wanting to make the call here. And it looks like he does. He does make the call. Both players turning their hands face up here, waiting for that magical river. It looks like we're going to be running it multiple times. And just negotiating. And here we go. Dealer Robert getting an exact count. This is the biggest pot of the night. $6,270 in the middle. Mike, looking nervous. I would be too. Pointing out the ace of spades. Hey, you can't lose if you got that one. Mike all in for $1,140. The river, a king of diamonds, gives Keikoa the first of the chopped pots. Second, a jack of hearts goes to Mike. And the third, a seven of spades also goes to Mike. Mike with the wheel on two of those boards. A little math for our dealer to do. A little time for me to talk about some of the other cool things that we've got going on this month. Actually, nay. Let's talk about this week first. We got a $20,000 guaranteed high roller on a Friday. And we're going to live stream that. At least the final table of it. We are going to live stream. Should be pretty cool. $1,100 will get you into that high roller. $20K guaranteed. The last high roller that we did, we had a great turnout. We were doing a Big O tournament. This time, I believe it's regular old Hold'em, a.k.a. normal poker, depending on who you ask. We've also got our bounty tournament coming up on Saturday. Got the bomb pot tournament tomorrow. And we've got finally the long-awaited 10K zero entry tournament. Not exactly a free roll, but pretty close. If you qualified, September the 8th is the day. Sunday is the day of the week. 1 p.m. is the time. Come check us out. We'll be live streaming that final table as well. As far as I know, we actually might even have a featured table for that to occur. Should be pretty cool. Hey, UTG Al. Yeah. We're putting a couple of things in the works so far. No Limit Hold'em streams is the question. High Limit No Limit Hold'em streams is the qualifier. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be putting a couple of things together. Charlie's game we're going to be running on Thursday is a regular old 1-2 game. Standard limit. We've got this PLO stream going on right now. We're going to be streaming the High Roller Tournament this Friday. That one going to be an NLH game. We're trying to put some things together, trying to get a couple of players as regulars in a higher limit game. Hey, if you're one of the takers, UTG Al, just go ahead and email us. You can find our email address on the website. Or come pop by and let us know. We'll see if we can't work with you and try to get something going. If you want to just watch high-limit NLH games, no shame in that. Nothing wrong with that either. And that's why we do it. We do it for you, the viewers. UTG Al wants to see some 2-5 or 5-10 games. Would be wild to watch. Yeah, I agree. I like watching Hustler Casino live as well. That's actually what I do in my free time. I do this in my non-free time. Actually, I don't know. This is kind of a day off for me. This is a lot of fun. But yeah, it's pretty interesting when you see those guys like betting houses, you know, or betting cars. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, we definitely do want to put together some higher limit games. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll be sure to keep you updated on how that is working out. How much to get into Charlie's game Thursday night? $200 is the cap. $60 is the minimum. Actually had a couple of new players, not last week. I believe it was the week before. New players bought in for $60 and $75 and ran their stacks up like you wouldn't believe. That was a really interesting game. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that rewind button, pull up one of the older videos. You'll be able to watch them run it up. That was a lot of fun. UTG Al throwing some compliments out here. Good production, good actions, great games. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is exactly why we do it. This is Chase the Weatherman, the ex-Weatherman. Put in my retirement notice in late June. Moved over, as one does, the common progression from Weatherman to Pokerman, obviously. Standard career path there. I enjoy the game. I enjoy the math. I enjoy the strategy. And, of course, KoJack's. We got a great setup here. Very kind of them to allow us to use all the camera equipment and put me in front of the mic. Having a great time doing it. Thanks for watching. Hey, we appreciate that, man. Thank you, Al. Very much appreciated. John Davis throwing a thanks my way as well. Thank you guys. Thank y'all for watching. And we've got a good couple of viewers right now. I just want to take a minute to say thanks for watching while Joni makes this very large decision. Keikoa keeping up the aggression. Has sixes full of fours right now. Not quite the nuts, but might as well be. Joni reaching for calling chips. That is how Keikoa gets paid. Just staying aggressive. Hard to put him on a hand when he just bets everything. This time betting basically the nuts and gets paid off. Another $1,490 going into his stack. John Davis, happy retirement. Oh, man, not exactly retirement, but yeah, retired from the weather at least. I ain't that rich. But I appreciate the well wishes, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah, working on the actual retirement, though. It might take me another 40 or 50 years. Shoot, we'll see if I even make it that far monetarily, you know. You got to start making plans now. A lot of people are investing in 401ks. I am investing in a garden to give me something to do when I retire. John Davis just running you. Yep, I agree, man. I agree, man. It's all jokes here. Hey, we have fun, man. That's what we do. But everybody, really, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. And thanks for the kind words, too. You can see Keikoa clawing back. Now only down just a little bit. Down 125. John Davis says he's close to retirement. Hey, congratulations, man. Congratulations. That's got to feel pretty good when you get close. So close you can taste it. And just make sure to fill up that time. My father actually retired not that long ago for about a month. And hated it. So he got a different job. Same field, different job, just to stay busy. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And here we go. Looks like another family pot brewing here. We got 6 players so far. Joey with the mystery hand raising it up to 70. King 5-4 on the flop. 4 ways to the flop. 3-10 in the middle. And it checks around. Nobody really with much of a piece of that flop. 5 on the turn. Pairs the board. I spy no sets as of yet. But Joey with the mystery hand does check. Leads me to believe he's not holding a set. Maybe holding a weak king. Keikoa holding a decent king with the 10 kicker. Pair of kings, pair of 5s, 10 kicker. Keikoa actually not betting. Just checks all the way around. John Davis. Solid plan right here. Going to retire to where his wife was born and raised in Puerto Vallarta. That sounds like an exotic name. I hope it's a beach town. Says it won't be too bad. Going to golf during the week and sell barbecue on the weekend to pay for golfing. Genius. Absolutely genius plan. It does not get better than that. Oh, man. Hey, if you need a judge for your barbecue recipes, I know how to eat. I'll tell you what. Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. Love that. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me look up a couple of pictures here. Let me see what we got in Puerto Vallarta. Oh, gorgeous water. Wow. Just the first result on Google Images. Unbelievable. Beautiful town. Hey, congratulations, John. Your solid plan just got even more solid. Get some carnitas going. It's a Mexican restaurant I used to frequent back in New Orleans when I lived there. They had chicken tinga burritos. Figure out how to make that, John Davis, please. And I will taste test the hell out of it. Board comes queen 7-4. Only 2 ways to the flop. Oh, sorry, 3 ways to the flop. Joey finally not playing a mystery hand, and he hits a set right there. Bottom set of 4s. Kelly with the pair, double pair, queens and 7s. She's got the deuce 3 working for her as well. A couple of backdoor straight outs. BBC, king kings. And Kelly making a bet. It looks like she goes all in for 185. Drawing pretty well. Okay, never mind. Board updating like crazy. Was at 47%. We did a couple of corrections here. Kelly drawing slim now with her all-in bet. Keiko with the pair of jacks. Looks like he makes the call for 185. Joey making the call as well. We've got a side pot here. Kelly all in for that $780 in the middle. Let's see what Josh brings us on the turn. Again, the dealer totally responsible for all randomness of cards. And there's the 10 on the turn. The jack of diamonds on the river. Keikoa improving to a better set than Joey. Hitting a 2 or maybe even 1 outer. I did not see if a jack was folded pre-flop. Keikoa keeping up the aggression, bets 150. Joey not tossing it into the middle, tossing it directly at Keikoa. Has a feeling he's beat, but just can't lay his hand down. I don't blame him. Even bottom set. Pretty disguised. Pretty good hand. And Kelly walking away. Boom. Massive pot headed towards Keikoa. Keikoa was once at the bottom of the leaderboard. Cards were not cooperating. Now, second place on the winnings leaderboard. $835 in the green. $7K in his stack. Unbelievable. UTG Al saying Keikoa getting hit by the deck. Yeah, making up for lost time. That deck was not cooperating at the beginning of the session, but now it looks like he's really turning things around, and his bluff attempts, his unbridled aggression really looks like it's paying off for him. Getting paid off on his hands. John Davis got to go. Hey, yeah, I will have to ask Charlie and Basil about that barbecue. Glad you had fun, John. Hope you feel well soon. Get well soon, buddy. Take care. We'll see you in the next stream. We got a couple of those coming up this week, so make sure to check us out here. Subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a like. Leave a couple of comments. We're going to be streaming again on Thursday. We'll be streaming again on Friday. And I think we'll be streaming again on Sunday for that 10K zero entry tournament. All of those qualifiers that we've been running on Sunday leading up to this Sunday where the big kahuna happens. The 10K zero entry tournament. If you qualified, come check us out. If you didn't qualify, you want to watch some of that poker action, hey, check us out on our channel. If you're watching me right now, hey, you're in the right spot. We got a couple of folds pre-flop. Still a couple of players. Now, Keikoa playing the mystery hand this time. And we come to a flop of king, queen, 6, 2 clubs out there. Joey with the flush draw. Not a very high flush draw, though. Only the 10-7. Landon hitting 2 pair, kings and queens. Looking for Broadway, though. A jack will do it. And Joey bets out $100. He's up and down for the straight in addition to the flush draw. It looks like Landon staying disciplined. Not going to chase his gutter ball. And instead, everyone's going to fold. Joey is going to drag another pot. Now we are coming up on the last hand here. We're getting close. A few more hands to go. Well, thank you for joining us. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for spending the afternoon with us. Sure had a good time. Saw some cool poker. Saw a lot of chips changing hands, to say the least. And it's only fitting. Joni, still the big winner for the night. Try and keep it that way for these last couple of hands. Johnny's been playing very well today. Up $1,230 on the day. Big Taco up 58. Now with 3K at the top. And Mike in the +1 position looks down at pocket kings. He's got a 9 and a 5 in tow. Pocket kings with the Dolly Parton. And Joni holding 2 5s along with a queen and an 8. Big Taco, ace, king, jack, deuce. A lot of Broadway cards there. Joey with pocket 7s. And Landon with pocket 6s. Flop comes out with 2 9s. 9-9 tray. Mike flopping trips here. Still got his pair of kings. Big Taco with the flush draw on a paired board. Never feels great. I believe Landon had a flush draw, and it looks like he's going to get out of the way. I think it was only jack high or queen high. Making the right fold. Big Taco does get to the flush. The ace high flush. The ace king high flush, as a matter of fact. And it looks like he's going to bet out for $50. Joey, next to act, on a paired board, gets a call. And another call from Mike. Big Taco not feeling so great, maybe, about his flush. He is out of position. 6 of hearts comes on the river. Big Taco certainly going to slow things down here on the river, but that does not concern Joey. Joey leading out. He's got a straight. And Joey shows the straight. Taco shows the flush. And that's going to do it. Big Taco dragging a big $1,000 pot. Scoop it up, $625 as a win. Nice round number right there, $1,000 in the middle. And we've actually been seeing some fairly reserved play from some of these players. And that tends to happen as the stakes go up. Joey still up 112 after that pot. Landon down 135. Robert down 265. Mike down 410. Baby Boy Cruz down near 1,000, down 935. Really just hasn't seen too many spots. UTG Al, holy crowd goes wild. Yeah, you are not wrong. I love that soundboard. Maybe more than I should. Who knows? Now we got Mike first to act. Robert making the call. Big Taco with a pair of eights. A couple of snowmen to go along with Charlie's favorite hand, that 5-3. Joey with a lot of clubs right there. That's what we call a lot of clubs. Landon seeing another flop. 10-9-4-4 for Landon. Robert with a pair of jacks. Mike with a pair of threes. Joni with the pair of kings. Flop comes out queen 7-6. What? Very surprised to see nobody's got a set of sevens or a set of sixes. Keikoa holding the 5-3. Charlie's favorite hand. And Robert is best with his pair of queens. No, Joni is best with her pair of kings, I think, right now. But when you factor in the draws, she is on the low end of the equity. Robert, the pair of queens and the flush draw, a 10 on the turn. No help to Joey. He does get a pair of 10s, but that is not the pair that he wants to see. Still behind Robert's pair of queens. Eight clubs would be disastrous for Queen Jack of clubs. Yeah. Yes, indeed, it would. Joey looking for the straight flush. Joey bets 80. There's the 4 of clubs. Joey makes a flush, but Robert's flush is much higher. Queen Jack. Joey, seems like second time in a row he makes a hand on the river, but makes a second best hand. Joey's going to bet 185. Robert likely to call. Let's see if he finds a raise. No, he does make the call. Turns over his hand immediately. Gets the check mark and the pot. Robert taking $740 home. $395 is profit. That should put him in the green. Closer to the green, down 265 on the day so far. Latecomer to the game. We'll have many opportunities to run that stack up. And we are moving on. Hand number 33, about to wrap things up. I think we have about maybe 2 more hands. Maybe 3 more hands. I very much appreciate everybody for watching us, having a good time. Playing some PLO, $1,000 buy-in, $10 on the button. And Joey looking down at the ace Quisha plus the 5-3. You know, I think the ace Quisha is maybe my favorite hand to commentate. The 5-3, Charlie's favorite hand to commentate. Charlie will be back, I believe, with us on Thursday for Charlie's game. Tomorrow we got the Bomb Pot Tournament. If you like PLO, you like multiple boards, come check us out for that Bomb Pot Tournament. Only $60 to register. Only $60 will get you a seat. Of course, we do allow rebuys. We do allow add-ons right after or as registration is closing. And Joey's going to 3-bet the ace Quisha 5 tray. Baby Boy Cruz making a move. He's going to call. Mike throwing out some chips as well in position. He's got a pair of sevens. He's got the 5-4. All three of these players holding a 5. BBC holding one of the remaining sevens, making it less likely Mike will hit his set. And there's the flop, ace, jack, 10. Joey, top pair, along with BBC. No set for Mike. Not a whole lot of equity. Joey, throw out some raising chips, $70. Not a huge bet, but it is going to be good enough to take that pot. Keeping up the aggression. And look at this. Again, players kind of playing a little more reserved. The $10 on the button game. Looks like KoJack is going to color up some of those red chips. KoJack, very high VPIP, but for the table, but actually pretty typical of what we expect when we see the Charlie's game, that 1-2 live stream, no limit hold'em game that we usually play on Thursdays. 64% there. Big Taco playing fairly tight, 26%. BBC and Joni right in the upper 30s. Very interesting to see that spread of VPIP. Huge difference from top end of that chart to bottom end of that chart. Now we've got Big Taco under the gun this time. King 7, 6-5. Pretty decent mid-range wrap there with the king. Folding around, Landon making the call with his ace Quisha. 10-3. Mike calling 10. Robert checking his option. Flop. King 10-4. Big Taco. Top pair with the king. Mike, top pair with the better kicker. Landon. Another gutter ball to Broadway. Let's see if he chases this one. Doesn't look like it. No, he gets out of the way. Action on KoJack. Got a pair of 10s. But he does fold. No diamonds in KoJack's hand. Joey bets 60. Joey wins 50 in profit out of that $120 pot. Robert with a 6-card flush. That is true. That's what we call too many clubs right there. And we are moving on. Again, winding down here this stream. Thanks again for joining us. Still a lot of money on the table. Now, even after the stream ends, the players usually continue playing this game. The 1-2 game will usually last about 2 hours after the stream ends. Here, I would not be surprised to see this game going pretty late. You can get a lot of money on the table. It's kind of like Pepe Le Pew from the Bugs Bunny cartoons. They just kind of drift. They float on in, some of these players. Some of them are sitting at the table right now. And look at this. We got a double straddle up to 40. BBC double straddling here. Didn't see the triple straddle, though. The elusive triple straddle. And I think we're folding around here. KoJack raising it up. 150. And gets a caller out of that double straddle. BBC holding on to his cards, checking out a flop of a jack 5 and a deuce. BBC making a pair of jacks. KoJack with the pair of 5s. Keeping up the aggression as he does. 175 is the bet. BBC not going anywhere to that bet. Hanging on. We've got 670 in the middle. Going on to a turn. We are heads up. BBC does. Indeed, UTGL. He does have that jack deuce. 2 pairs going on here. Now making a full house on the turn with that 2. 2's full of jacks. And Keikoa, far behind, elects not to bet. BBC checking it to him, giving him a little rope. But Keikoa not using that rope to hang himself. Instead, using that check to get out of the way. UTG outboated. Tony, we are wrapping up. We've got maybe another 5 minutes on the stream. And then we will be ending. The game will be going for another probably couple of hours. I wouldn't be surprised to see this game hit midnight. Tony, you got a little time if you want to get out of here. Get out here to Midland, sir. You got enough time, I think, to make it from Toledo. If you hire a private jet, maybe. We'll hold the seat open for you, Tony. I've got the womp womp wah. Tony says he's on the way. Tell him Chase sent you when you get here. If I'm not here, we'll give you a freebie of some sort. All right, here's something that'll really confuse everybody. UTG Al, this is for you. The applause and the womp womp wahs. Tony's hopping in the G6 right now. Love it. That's a fine jet. Boker must be going pretty well in Toledo if you got that G6. UTG Al hurrying you along, saying hurry up. And it looks like Landon's got a pair of 10s in the +1. Keikoa holding another 10, as well as an ace-queen. A lot of diamonds, but 2 more on the flop. Keikoa continuing the aggression, bets 200 with his flush draw. Mike's got the pair of kings. Pitches those right into the muck. And that'll do it. Keikoa takes it. And we're moving on. This is the last hand of the night, everybody. UTG Al falling for my mixed emotions trap. Let's hit it again. Tony Halt saying only the best jets for him. He's got a champagne taste for fine aeromobiles. About to spend $4,000 in fuel to buy in for $1,000. Hey, if you can afford it, I say do it. It makes sense. You quadruple up and you pay for the trip. Easy to do, right? Just double up and double up again. Come on, simple game. And this is the last hand. We've got a straddle from Landon. $10 out there. And Joni will be first to act in her game on the last hand of the live stream. She looks down. Queen 10, 7 tray. It is double suited. Let's see if she makes the call here. She does. Throw out a couple of chips. That'll do it. It looks like the straddle was not live for some reason. Everybody's calling 10. And Basil, hey, man, I appreciate the kind words, my man. Saying I'm doing a good job. Love to hear it. This is why I do it for you. I like the feedback, positive or negative, because the whole reason I'm doing this is to make you guys happy. Give you guys some poker to watch. UTG Al doing the math calculations here, saying technically Toledo Tony has got to win 8K for it to be profitable. He needs to fly back home 100% correct. That is an SAT question. I would have failed the SAT question this time. Did okay on the SAT, if anybody cares. Tony saying, see you Thursday. Yes, sir. We'll be here. Basil, hey, by the way, the brothers said, what's up, Alex and Andrew? UTG Al saying, Basil's like the father we never had. That is sweet. That's a good note to go out on here. And look at this, Joni turning trips in her game. 93% equity. If she makes it to showdown, she will almost undoubtedly win. Instead, she gets the folds instead. And she will drag the last pot of the night. Basil, on Thursday, we're going to be doing Charlie's game. Same old 1-2. We'll be putting up the list here shortly, so I hope to see you on there. Basil, for those of you who don't know, usually is the first spot on that list, likes to sit in seat number 1 for that game. Tomorrow, we've got our bomb pot tournament, $60 to get in, 2 boards all day, 4 cards all day. Come check it out. Usually that prize pool gets up pretty big. Basil, I will put you on the list. UTG Al, what a handsome man. Thank you. Yeah, I did shave. No more werewolf mode coming on. I'll do what I can to stop the rain, but I'll have to make a call. I can't do it myself anymore. And then on Saturday, we've got the same old bounty tournament, but before we get there, Friday, we actually have our high roller tournament, $10K guaranteed. $1,100 to buy into that tournament. That is our high roller, no limit hold'em game. So make sure to come check us out there. And then on Sunday, speaking of big tournaments, Sunday, all those qualifiers pay off. We've got our 0 entry tournament coming up on Sunday. So come check us out. We got exciting cash game action every night of the week in between. So come check that out as well. But for now, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. And